y'all seeing the load screen? Holy moly, does it look awesome. For those of you who know, there will be an update coming, I believe December. I'm not sure what day of September, but it will be coming December. And it's gonna be From the Ashes, and I'm trying not to get too spoiled here, because when I do buy it and play it, I do want to be like, wow, what's all this? But I do know it's probably going to be from Sotlek's point of view, so that's exciting. But hello everyone, it's me, JT, back with another Avatar Frontiers of Pandora video. Before we begin, go ahead and grab your snacks. You know the drill. Go grab your snacks, some water to stay hydrated. We don't want to be bored here. Have something nice to chew on. Matter of fact, order you some Kentucky Fried Chicken with a little bit of gravy and potatoes. Oh, and biscuits. You cannot miss out with the biscuits. By the way, I got a cat. It's a little kitten. He's on my desk right now. He was on my shoulder. But right now he's on my desk and he's just vibing with me here. His name is Toruk. Toruk. You know, like Toruk Makto? Like the great, I don't know how to say that, but like him. The reason I chose that name was because it also means last shadow. Because Toruk, they say when you see his shadow, it's already too late for you. You're dead. He's hitting my microphone. If you hear any thunk and any, it's him. He does not. This is like the clingiest cat I've ever known. He doesn't like being alone. He's so pretty. But anyway, I know I've been away for a while. I have a few reasonings. School, and I've just been trying to get my mental health in order. He really likes the microphone. And also, big news, I went to Disneyland Orlando, Florida. And if you are an Avatar fan, you will know that one of the parks in Florida has an Avatar-themed area. Don't chew on that. Now that one is called the Animal Kingdom. But I went to 3 parks in total. I didn't go to the Magic Kingdom one. I went to Epcot, to Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. And I decided, while I'm trying to survive out here and get side missions done, why don't I describe and rate all the parks in Orlando? Just talk about each one in 3 separate videos. Okay, perfect. There we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Okay. Editor JT over here. Scratch all of that. When I was editing the audio and looking through all of the videos, I wasn't able to explain what I wanted to in depth while playing the game, because I was getting jumped left, right, front, center. You know the deal. And I was getting distracted too, so I didn't get to say everything I wanted to in a nice, smooth motion. So I decided, why not just do a voiceover? We're going back to the first way I did it for the first few episodes of the series. So why not do a voiceover, talk about it while you guys watch me play? And it might not be a 3-part video because the scripts are short. It depends on how long my footage is. I don't want it to go over an hour, so it might be, might not be. If it's 1 part, you'll know. It'll say it in the video and in the description if you are looking. But I wrote a script, so let me talk while you watch, so you can hear about my day in Florida, or I guess my time in Florida. So I will be describing and rating all the Disney parks in Orlando except Magic Kingdom, because like I said, I didn't go to that one. There was a sale. It was a 3-ticket thing. You buy the 3 tickets together and it's less expensive, so we did that. But Also, quick little footnote, I found out they have monorails that connect all the parks and resorts, I think, as well, to each other, which is incredible because it reminded me of if you watched the first Avatar movie, and if you watched, because I'm pretty sure it's a deleted scene now, it won't show in regular or recent DVDs and stuff like that. There's a clip in the beginning where it shows a train station going, and it's basically a whole train station going around the world, and they transport metals and stuff like that all over, but I thought it was really cool and it reminded me straight of that. Just wanted to share it. Now, the hotel we stayed in was awesome. It was in a Disney resort, but it was still amazing. It's like one of the best hotels I've ever been to. Not saying that I've been to a lot, but this tops it. So it had 2 rooms, a master bedroom and a regular room with 2 beds. And there was a whole kitchen and a living room. Like, one even had a whole tub. One of the bathrooms had a whole tub in it, and I was like, well, this is fantastic. But my favorite part, because I wasn't really using these amenities, like the living room and stuff. I only used the living room and stuff when we came back from the park, rested. In the morning, the kitchen to make food, breakfast, and then get going, and also at night for dinner. But because, whoa. My favorite part was that there was a pool and a jacuzzi outside that I always went to for like 20 to 30 minutes after just walking all day in the park. Imagine that. You walk all day, because we were up at like 7 in the morning eating, and then we were out whole day, came back around 8, 9 p.m. I just walk out, jump in the pool for a couple minutes, sit in the jacuzzi and let my aching muscles rest, go back upstairs, take a shower, have some dinner if I was feeling it, and then knock out at 12 p.m. and repeat. And it was the best feeling in the world. I kid you. How could you go on with so little hours of sleep when you are waking up to go to a Disney park? You need to understand, sleep is the least of my concerns. Like a 5-hour sleep or 6-hour, I don't know how many hours of sleep I was getting. It was enough to keep me going because of how exciting and beautiful Disney is. And if you ever have a chance, do not miss it. Do not. And I'm saying this for any Disney park or any Universal Studios. Don't miss it. You will love it.
Oh, come. More Kinglaw are ready to leave Home Tree. Ah, that scent. The sweetness of the Kinglaw flowers is putting a smile on everyone's face. A new queen has been born already. And thanks to you, this is no longer... Let's go.
Now, Epcot will be the first park I'll be talking about because it was ranked in 3rd place in my overall favorites. I'm not saying it's the worst park. I am saying out of my preferences, I am ranking it in 3rd place. So it gets the bronze medal. But let me tell you why. The idea of the park was amazing. And don't get me wrong, it was pretty immersive. There were 11 countries around the park. Canada, United Kingdom, France, Morocco, Japan, the American Adventure, Italy, Germany, China, Norway, and Mexico. But the wine and food festival was happening. So it was really busy and packed, which might have been the reason for its low placement. It was packed. I don't really like packed areas, but when you're going to Disneyland, that's going to be a given. So imagine Disneyland already packed, and just add, like, drunk people to that. Because people were getting drinks. It was packed as hell. You can imagine how crazy that would be. And I'm sorry, that was my phone. Let me just put it in my pocket.
Ouch.
There we go.
Not good.
Also, spoiler alert, my cat is not a male. It was a female. I found that out when I got them spayed. I'm still naming her Toruk because she's still a little dark mist that disappears at night, and I'm trying to look for her and she's just under my desk, and I can't even see her until she meows. So I'm still calling her Toruk. Means last shadow. It's staying that way. As I was saying, what was I saying? Right. It might have, the reason for its low placement, like I said, was it was overly packed, especially with drunk people because of the food and wine festival that was happening. And the rides were a bit underwhelming, but still impressive for Disney standards. And I'm saying they were underwhelming because this park was basically meant for kids.
You're okay. Don't worry.
It's so bad too. So this park was basically meant for kids and adults to have fun. So if you're a parent and you have kids, come here. Come to Epcot, you can drink, and then you can have rides for the kids. It's fantastic. It's fantastic for you. But me, being a single, not really drinker kind of person with no kids, it wasn't the best, but I still had fun nonetheless. Let's see. We were there for near the beginning of opening, so we were basically there all day, as I've said. We were basically there all day for the whole thing. The parks opened at different times, and I believe Epcot opens at 9. I could be wrong. You can fact check me in the comments. But the first thing that hits you is the massive sphere at the entrance, which is amazing at night. It glows beautifully and also turns into a Mickey with fireworks for the ears. But I didn't get to capture that part. I didn't really take a lot of photos or videos during this trip because I really wanted to just experience it. If I have a chance, hopefully, God bless, if I have another chance to go over there and go to these parks, I'm definitely gonna do better recording and photos for memory. So, but for now, I really just wanted to be in the moment, and I don't regret it. It was amazing. We first went over Journey of Water, which was basically a little attraction inspired by Moana, and honestly, it was amazing because you didn't need to wait in line. You just walk in and interact with the water. It's not a ride. It's just an interactive sort of thing. It's like meeting with the Disney character. Except Disney characters, I guess you do have a line. Still nonetheless. The water felt alive and filled with personality, just like in the movie. And then there were some certain parts where you could come closer and interact with water. And I walked over to the water, placed my hand over it, and which made the water rise up to touch my hand. So basically, stick your hand out, the water, there were certain parts where the water rose, there were some parts where the water moved. You could just interact with the water. It felt like it was alive, which was amazing. It was obviously more of a kids area, but if you love Moana, you would enjoy that area. It'd feel like you're actually interacting with the water and it's alive. I think any adult would find that interesting too, especially if you're interested in engineering and stuff like that. Then we walked over to the World Nature area, where our first ride was Soaring Around the World, which, by the way, the captain on the TV was being voiced by Patrick Warburton. And if you don't know who that is, it's basically the guy from Family Guy. Which I thought was cool. After being talked to the person on the TV, we were taken into the room where we sit down and then are lifted up into the air, simulating the feeling of being on hang gliders. If you know what hang gliders are, it's basically this thing. See him in the movie Rio if you watched it. Really cool. We first stopped to Swiss Alps, then we head over to Greenland, pass by Australia, follow a stampede of elephants, then go to Mount Kilimanjaro. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this, please. I'm sorry. Then we saw the Great Wall of China at a bird's eye view, the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and the Taj Mahal in India, Fiji Lu Island, South America, and finally saw the dazzling Eiffel Tower at night in Paris. Now, the amazing part about this ride in itself was that whenever you went to a new place, whenever you visited one of these areas, you would be sprayed with a scent that matched the area perfectly. Some were more noticeable than others. You can tell them, you can pick up the scent easier. I think, like, 1/3 of the way in, we noticed, oh my god, there's a scent being sprayed out. Because the other ones were more subtle. The only problem that I had with this ride was that if you were placed in... We were in rows. So you had The row on top, the row in the middle, and the row in the back. We were placed in the back row. And if you were
Let's
placed
keep
in
an
the
eye out
middle
for a
or
tree
back
where we can
row
rest.
of the seats, you'd be seeing the feet of the people above you. They were far away. Don't get me wrong, they weren't up in your face. But you'd see feet,
think this is
shoes,
it.
sandals,
Great.
anything dangling.
We made it. May your new home bring you joy.
And it kind of ruined the immersion a bit for me because they were up there. I mean, if you didn't look up, it helped, but you were kind of, it was this big screen sphere, which kind of defeated the purpose, but it wasn't that bad. So I'd say I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Next, we went over to Mission Space, where you're able to choose orange to go to Mars, which means the ride is more tense, or green to go to Earth, which is suited more for the kids. We obviously went to orange. I was terrified because I thought it was going to be something crazy. It wasn't. It was just cool, but I'll explain it to you and you'll see if you want to take the kids to this one. There we were assigned roles, and I don't remember all of them. There was probably engineer, doctor, any of that. But I only remember leader because I was suddenly assigned that role. And when I tell you I looked like a deer in headlights when they told me I was leader, I knew we were cooked then. But once your roles are given, you go into the spaceship. And it was really immersive. They somehow managed to create pressure when you were taking off, which was really cool. That was the only highlight for me because I don't know if this was a bug or something was going on, but there were a bunch of lines going down my screen and it looked kind of broken. It was the same for my other sibling. It was that, but I don't know if it was supposed to be like that or if ours were broken, but it wasn't as immersive as I would have liked because you were just staring at a screen with bright lines. That was all. There wasn't even stars or any of that, which sucked. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Not that bad. I really like the pressure part, but the screen, I don't know if it was meant to be like that. Journey of Imagination with Figment. Now, Figment is a character clearly loved by a lot of Disney fans over there in Florida, Orlando. A very cute little purple dragon who loves causing mischief and having his way. We were taken on a journey to learn about our 5 senses. It felt like the weirdest fever dream, and we got farted on. I got a migraine at the end of it. That's all I can say. It's obviously going to be more for kids because they're teaching them their 5 senses in a fun way. But it was really, really weird. I wouldn't go on it again because I got a migraine. So, 4 out of 10 for me. A lot of people might like it because it was funny, but the migraine really didn't help. Now, we went to the next ride, which is The Seas with Nemo and Friends. It was obviously a kids' ride. I mean, I've been saying this since the beginning. This park is, a lot of the rides are surrounding kids. It's meant for kids. And all we were really trying to do in that ride was, it was just like a nice ride. You didn't go anywhere crazy. We're just looking around trying to, everyone was trying to find Nemo. Well, we could see Nemo. The characters couldn't see Nemo. And it was a screen, so don't think there were actual characters. It was a screen that showed all the characters. It was cool. We saw an aquarium as well as it was playing. But then once you finish the ride, you can actually go into the aquarium. And we saw a bunch of sea cows and a bunch of other fish like sharks, turtles. It was really cool. And I liked that. It was a nice little aquarium. My older sister loved the sea cows. She loved watching them. And I'd say a 7 out of 10 for that ride for me. Now the countries. We didn't go through all the countries because it was so jam-packed for the Food and Wine Festival. So we basically flew by Canada, which was giving cabin time during the summer. Really cool, really cutesy, but it was like jam-packed since it was like nearly the beginning of the day and they were starting with the Food and Wine Festival. A lot of drinking. So we kind of just flew by there. United Kingdom was really nice. It looked like we were walking through a town you would find in England in movies and series and shit like that. And I brought an advent calendar for tea because I really like tea and thought it was the coolest thing. Now France. Remy's Ratatouille adventure was the cutest thing. We were going into the ride as mice, so everything was at floor length. 2 key things to take away was that when the oven was turned on, we were hit with a wave of heat, and then also got flicked with mop water, which was funny. Obviously, it wasn't mop water, but still found it funny. I'm gonna leave the rest of it to you guys to figure out about that ride. I don't want to spoil too much, but we're basically going around the kitchen as mice. 9 out of 10. Very cute. Now, our lunch reservation. We did have lunch at the 3 parks. And I gotta say, the lunch in Epcot would get 3rd place for me out of all the places I went to eat.
You're okay. Don't worry.
Our lunch reservation was at La Crêperie de Paris. I got the whole meal, where we were given the soup of the day, an entree, and a dessert. The soup of the day was this potato and veggie soup, which was honestly my favorite thing of the whole meal, and my entree was ratatouille. I always wanted to try it, and it was underwhelming. I didn't really finish it. And for dessert, of course, a pure crepe, which wasn't too sweet, which I liked. I'd say 5 out of 10 for this lunch reservation. The food was okay. The dining area and service was amazing. Very beautiful there. And the lady was new. She was very sweet. But overall, I'd say it was 3rd place in the dining reservations. There wasn't a lot of menu options. And a lot of it was interesting. I gotta say the only thing I'd eat from there, again, would be the soup of the day. We walked around Morocco a bit, which is where I got my mom a gift. It was a pretty pair of earrings, and then went over to Japan, which I got a total of 3 things. A bonsai starter kit, because I will refuse to not stop trying. I want to keep trying. Lily incense, which smells amazing, and a little koi tray for the incense, so the ashes can fall on there. We basically skipped America, Italy, and Germany because we were in a bit of a rush. And I hope to properly check them out next time. Now, China was beautiful. There was a pond and a long-necked swan, which was fabulous. And we thought it was fake for a second until it moved. I guess it was fishing. And I bought a beautiful purple sun umbrella and an ice fan as well. We looked a bit through Norway, but I was at my purchasing limit at this point, so I didn't really look to buy anything. Mexico was cool. The structure of the restaurant was huge and it looked awesome, but we basically passed through it as well. I really wanted to do the test track, but unfortunately was unable to, so hopefully next time. Now we are coming to the last ride we did that day. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Holy airball. This single-handedly saved the whole day. Everything, though awesome, had been a bit underwhelming for me. So this ride was phenomenal and I deeply recommend it. It was basically a roller coaster inside and the seats did 360s. 360s. That means the seat you were on did a full spin of 360 while you were going through the roller coaster. I cannot explain how insane that is. The effects were also crazy. Spoilers here about the ride. If you don't want to hear it, skip ahead in 3, 2, 1. There we go. I'm gonna be talking about it. We were basically going on a space ride driven by Terry Hughes, but a huge Titan creature stole the engine and used it to go back in time to stop the Big Bang from happening. The Guardians of the Galaxy sent us to stop him, and when it started, the song Conga started to play, so you can imagine how immaculate that song choice was. There were stars, there were giant planets we did 360s on. It was so crazy and so insane and amazing. It was hard to keep up. You have to experience it on your own. But we did it. Saved the universe. 11 out of 10 of a ride, and I would do it again and again if I could have. Only got to do it once, but oh my gosh, that was the most amazing ride ever, and I recommend it to anyone who's going to be heading over there anytime soon.
The Sarentu. Perfect. Now, I am no coward, but there is a strange sound that wafts from the hills at night. Small concern given everything we are facing, right? Oh, the children disagree, though. Whenever I return to Home Tree, they say, "You always know what is happening, Leitao. Why can you not tell us what that sound is?" Their curiosity is so charming. And tiresome.
What do you think it is?
Likely someone with too much free time on their hands? The children think it may be the sky people in the hills nearby. But Nilnyan, he forbids us from looking into it. The lecture he gave us on danger was so stern and lengthy, my yawns could have shaken Home Tree loose from its soil.
Danger doesn't sound like something that would stop you.
Nilnyan lives a tedious life. He would not recognize actual danger if it walked right up to him and ate his dinner. He is an elder, though. When an elder speaks, we obey, for better or worse. So, if I tell the children what I find, I am also telling them I have gone against an elder's wishes. But you, child, are not a Ranahe, which means you can help me get the children off my back, as much as I love their endless pestering.
Now, because this recording was short, and I got through Epcot, why not talk about, because I still have a lot of footage left, why not talk about our second place? Earning a silver badge, Hollywood Studios. Again, we were up early, near park opening, so we were here all day. Now, let me explain to you our day in Hollywood Studios and a little bit of why I gave it second place. If you are a Star Wars fan, this is for you, and this may be your number one favorite park. Not mine personally, and you'll know why, but this park is for you. Star Tours was the first ride we ever did, and it was fun. It was a little fun tour that went wrong quickly. We were given the tour by C-3PO and witnessed a Star Destroyer getting destroyed with R2-D2 manning the guns. That's basically all I'm gonna say. 8 out of 10, really cute. You get in with a pack of people, so it really does feel like a tour. You're in a group with a bunch of strangers, so it does feel like a tour. Also, we saw Mando and Baby Yoda, which was like meeting a celebrity for one of my siblings. It was really cool. Wish we would have gotten a photo with them, but it was crowded and we had rides to go to. But now hear me out. I found out that there is a milk stand in the Star Wars area. My sibling is a milkaholic. So when we found this out, it was our number one goal to make sure we tried it. Now tell me, why these drinks were so good? Oh my giblets! The consistency was this milky yogurt, more liquid than usual yogurt, so it was creamy with bits of really small crushed ice. The blue one tasted of bubblegum, and I later came back for the green one that sort of tasted like guava. Both were great, and I would 110% go back for the milk drinks alone. I was surprised, I was amazed, I loved it. 10 out of 10 for me. The next ride was the Millennium Falcon, and it's great if you have groups of 6. If you're traveling with people and it's a group of 6 in total, it's great. That ride meant for you guys. You get to pick from 3 roles: a gunner, an engineer, and a pilot. I got to be gunner. Basically, I was taking commands and being told when to shoot, and it was really fun and immersive. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Now, Toy Story Land is meant exactly for kids and any adult that loved watching Toy Story as a kid. Alien Swirling Saucers is meant more for the kids, and I felt like we were drifting in the ride, which was kind of funny. You're basically getting... It's a little roller coaster when you where you spin in circles by the aliens, by the claw machine. It was cool. Drifting, not my thing. 6 out of 10.
RDA gear. Late Thou was right. That sound. A quick fix might stop it.
They said that there was a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. More like a pot of crap. Nothing here but danger and risk of death. And then there's that creepy noise I heard last night. Doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. I'd be more scared if I wasn't so pissed off about losing sleep. The second I see an opening, I'm hightailing it out of here.
Now, Toy Mania was a shooting game where we broke things, and it was a fun, competitive game. You got to go with 2 people. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. You and 1 other person would be competing. So if you're in odd groups, someone else is gonna have to be competing by themselves. But, I lost. I got a 129 to 131. I was winning. And then I fumbled it at the very end. So, overall, 7 out of 10. Really fun if you're into competitive games.
Are you our young Saturn to guest? May I have a word?
Such intric.
The sound was caused by a Sky People device. Looks like they dropped it. No Sky People around. Don't worry.
Well, well. One less Sky People contraption is a good thing. I will let the children know.
The Slinky Dog Dash was a roller coaster that pulled you back like the Slinky, and it was an overall fun ride. It was just a roller coaster, but I liked it. It was fun. I mean, who doesn't like roller coasters? 9 out of 10. Our next ride was Railway, where we were basically hopping into a train where Goofy was the conductor. However, we got derailed and lost him, so now we had Mickey and Minnie trying to stop this runaway train. We passed through the ocean, mountains, Daphne's dance studio, where we danced, and finally managed to get back safe while Goofy was oblivious to it all. Loved it, very cute and fun. 10 out of 10. Star Wars: The Resistance. This was our last ride of the day, and I was very excited for this one, only to find out it broke down. But I didn't want to give up. I couldn't. So there we sat, waiting, watching. For about 20 minutes when it finally opened up again. Yes! Now, spoilers for this ride in 3, 2, 1. We went into the building as resistance trainees who were unfortunately captured during their training by the Order. We were taken in by Star Troopers and held in captivity for a good minute or so before we were broken out by the resistance that were crawling in the vents and used a laser to open up the wall. There, we were put into those rides manned by robots. You'll have a picture. And we had to dodge guns. We ran in circles, even got spotted by Darth Vader, and booked it. He chased us, and there was even a part where his lightsaber began tearing through the elevator ceiling we used to try and escape. When he finally had us, an explosion landed behind him from a cruiser where he got trampled on by falling debris and we managed to escape. Best part is, we went twice. Since the ride was broken down, there wasn't a lot of people that were gonna be waiting around, so we booked it and we managed to take the ride twice. 12 out of 10 experience. Love it. And I hope you manage to experience it one day too. And for our finale, I'm including it here, so it's not going to be a 3-part video. I'm going to keep it here since the scripts were short. First place, our gold medal goes to Animal Kingdom. And I am biased here, and you will find out why. And again, before I continue with how my experience was at the Animal Kingdom Park, these listings and these ratings, they're all my own opinion and how much I enjoyed each park. So if you have a different tier list and if you've gone and you're like, oh, but I prefer this, go ahead and write it down in the comments. I genuinely want to know, especially if you've been to Magic Kingdom, because I haven't been there. So it would be nice to know what rides I should look forward to if I ever go again. Okay, so the first thing we did when we arrived to Animal Kingdom an hour early was... Wait. The park opens an hour early for those who are in the resort, so since we weren't in one, we kind of had to wait an hour for it to open to the rest of the public. So after waiting about an hour, which was actually, yeah, just straight up an hour, we got there early because we were really excited to be there and we kind of wanted to beat the line, which we kind of did because we were like in the front of the line, so it started getting packed, but we were like in the front, so we kind of did, kind of didn't, but as I was saying, after we waited that hour, we got in and immediately started walking over to Africa for an animal tour. We were told it was like the best time, or I was told it was the best time to do the animal tour. It's when all the animals are waking up, they're getting fed, great time to go. So we still had some time, because for a lot of these rides, I did the fast lane, lightning lane, just the one thing, just so we wouldn't have to wait, and I booked one for the animal tour. So we still had some time between that period. So we were just walking around Africa, and we got some snacks and a drink, and I even got a henna tattoo. That is sadly gone because it has been a while and I haven't been able to record properly, so it's gone. But I got one. It was based off of a drawing I did that was Avatar themed. I got an idea from a TikTok. I tried to change it, and it was so, not complete, but it's that. While we ate and waited, there were dancers who came out and brought in a small crowd with their dances, encouraging to join. It was super fun to watch, and I honestly loved the music. It was African styled music and dances, so you can imagine, it was really nice. Now for the animal tour, as stated, we went through a tour in one of those cars that look like buses but are meant for the wilderness, you know, like a very long, so you know the safari jeeps looking things, that's a bus that holds people. See them in movies, stuff like that. Basically those. We saw crocodiles, rhinos, and one of my favorite ones were the giraffes. The giraffes were like really up close if they wanted to. We drove by them. Some were like right there. I stuck my hand out and it stuck its neck down. It'd be like, hello. But yeah, I really liked seeing the giraffes. There were many other animals that you were given information about. Each animal that we passed by had their own like section sanctuary, And every time we'd pass by him, she'd talk about, or the person who was driving would talk about him, which was fun. You got information out of it, you learned stuff. A great ride if you like animals. 10 out of 10. We then went over to Asia where we saw so many more animals. It wasn't like the ride. You didn't have to book a tour or anything like that. It was just a walk-in thing. We got to see bats, tigers, and so many kinds of birds. Each little section, again, had information. The birds had a little pamphlet you can get from the very beginning that gave you all the birds and just the information about the birds. At the very end of that trail, you would just put the pamphlet back and carry on. It was a really great way to learn about different kinds of animals, and there was another ride. It had to do something about waves, and it was like a boat ride with a lot of water. I don't remember the name, but it's like the rapids, going through the rapids kind of sorts. So we didn't go through that one because my sister didn't want to really get wet, and we were like, okay, yeah, fair. So we didn't really do that one, but I would love to do it if we ever get the chance to go back. But yeah, Asia, 9 out of 10. Really nice. Especially with the shops. I recommend just going through it. We were kind of like blowing through a lot of stuff, but that's because we were just excited and trying to get as much done as possible or see as much as possible, which we really did. Now let me tell you about Mount Everest, alright? I'm gonna sit with me here now. Stand up and then sit back down, because let me tell you, it was an unexpected ride to say the least. Look, I'm not gonna say much about the ride per se, other than you were being chased through the mountains by a Yeti, and at some point we even went backwards, so you were going forwards, there was Yeti, and then the roller coaster decided, nope, you're going backwards all the way down. It was, honestly, if you like exhilarating rides and know that you don't get that much at Disney, this was really good. If you like nice speedy rides, I'd recommend this one. 9 out of 10 for me. Dino Land, which will soon be removed this year, or is already being removed, or will be removed next year, I'm not sure. But if you get it, I got the chance to explore it a bit and went on the ride Dinosaurs. That ride felt like a Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay. Every other corner, I was ready for something to jump out and actually just grab me. So, which unfortunately, left me with the most comedically looking photo that my siblings just had to buy, but, whatever. It's 8 out of 10. Moving on. We move on. Rainforest Cafe, when I tell you that this was one of the best restaurants I have ever eaten in. Hands down. The food was delicious. The scenery was amazing. Holy 10 out of 10. So the Rainforest Cafe is basically set up like a rainforest, but the cool part about it was not only did they have ambiance, so they had like noises of the rainforest and stuff playing in the background, they would have periods where it would start quote unquote raining, so the lights would dim and the music would change into like a thunderstorm, and you would hear so many animals go crazy, and it was just wild, and it really is like, it felt immersive in a sense. It was amazing. Let me tell you about the food. Oh, the food. Me and my older sister got 2 different kinds of pasta. I think mine was spicier. I think theirs were spicier. While my other brother got a burger, which was just as good as the pasta. We also got themed drinks with their cups, which we actually got to keep. When you turn it on, it even shows the logo and the eye on the very bottom when you lift it. Really cool cup. I got something... Mine was like the river... I think like a river-based themed drink, so it was blue. I don't remember my brother's. He got the other one, and then my older sister got a pina colada. I really loved it. Really good food, too, so... And the server was so sweet. So yeah, I really liked it. They're 10 out of 10. Now, for my favorite part, and probably the reason why this area was ranked first, is... Drum roll, please. Pandora. Come on, people. This should be known. So let me sit down. Let me hold your hand while I guide you through this journey with me, okay? Okay. When I walked into the area, it felt like that was the closest I'd ever get to setting foot onto Pandora. Immediately, I was able to recognize the plants and shrines. There were two shrines I remember seeing. One was of a Natvi and another of an Ikran. You had to see them both at an angle as well, so it really just called me back to the video game Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Like, hello. So when I first walked into Pandora, I actually did have to use the restroom. I mean, I just ate like at the Rainforest Cafe and then went straight to Pandora, which was like a bit of a walk. So yeah, I had to use the restroom. So the restroom area was actually an RDA ruined station that was worn down and covered with vines and overgrowing plants. And I was like, holy cow, can I take a photo of this? I did. Here you go. I'm not creepy. I was just amazed at how detailed everything was to the game. We walked over to the canteen area where I got a mousse as my birthday cake and 2 drinks, one for myself and one for my sister. I got the Pandorian sunset drink, I think it's called, and I'm not sure what the name was for the drink my sister got, but they were really good drinks, and for not having eaten much there, I liked it. I also like the plates. I like the plates there. It looked really nice, and I don't know. The fact that the plates were contorted and not perfect just settled something nice within me. After we ate, we went to the ride Avatar Flight of Passage. Oh my ewa. From the videos, it didn't look like much. But no, guys, you don't understand how insane this experience felt. Like, I can't even put into words properly, but I'll try my hardest here, okay? We are brought into the facility and are disinfected of some parasites, I believe, before continuing. After we get disinfected, we stand on our numbers and our avatars are selected for us based on our DNA matches. Then we are taken into a room where we sit down, put on our little VR glasses, and connect into our avatars. Fun part, I was actually wearing a braid that day because I was like, you know what? I'm going to Animal Kingdom. I'm going to do the Avatar stuff. Why not put my hair into a braid? So my brother helped me put my hair into a braid, and it actually got kind of stuck behind me on the seat. So when we connected with our Ikrans, it actually felt like something was connected to my hair. So, oh my god. If you go, and if your braid is long enough to get stuck to the back of your seat, do that. It genuinely feels like you're actually connected to something. But as I was saying, I cannot explain how beautiful the Flight of Passage was. Like, I cannot explain how this ride moved me to tears. We could feel our Ikram breathe against our legs as we both rested in a dimly lit cave filled with bioluminescence. Water splashed on us when we rode near the river and ocean, and it was just so immersive. I could not tell anyone else was in the room. It didn't even feel like I was still in that room. For all I knew, I was at Pandora riding my Ikran and soaring through the skies without a care in the world. I kid you not, I would go to Florida for that ride alone. And it was such a bittersweet feeling to leave that ride, and I truly wanted to ride it again. But the park was going to close soon, and there was still such a big line, and we still hadn't gone on the river ride. So I sadly had to depart from my favorite ride, which I can't even rank, because you can't rank something that amazing. There just isn't a number big enough to show how amazing it was. My favorite ride of all time, in all the parks and probably ever in my life, I will always recommend it. Now we have Moat's River Ride. It was the perfect calm after such a breathtaking experience. You went through the ride hearing, singing in the Na'vi language, seeing creatures of Pandora like viper wolves, hexapedes, atokirina, all in the dark while everything glowed so blissfully. We also got to see Maude's animatronic, which I know sometimes would break down, but we actually got lucky enough to be there while it was working. Which I would have loved to have taken more photos and videos of it properly. But because I really just wanted to live this experience, I didn't do that as much. But next time, if I'm going to go, I'm gonna try and get as much footage while also just having the time of my life. But anyway, she was singing and making music with various drums, strings, just different kind of instruments as she sang. So a 12 out of 10 for this ride. This experience was one of a kind as well. But yeah, that was my experience at most of the parks in Orlando, Florida, and a more detailed experience of my time in Pandora. I don't think I will ever get tired of experiencing this feeling of wonder and love for Pandora, and I hope to continue sharing it with all of you. As they say in the park, Sivako. Rise to the challenge.
Hajir, you there? I did it. Those ferals are with Awan now.
I owe you for helping fix my mistakes.
There was a lot of them. Way more than I expected. Any idea why?
No idea. They don't play well together. Never have. I saw a viper wolf the other day, right outside the field lab. Thought it was a feral. Finally tracked me down. Felt strangely relieved.
I'll let you know if I come across any feral activity. We'll make this right somehow.
Now, I will leave you with this small snippet of my gameplay that I thought would be a sweet tad at the very end. Have a good day or night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Ewan Yahoo.
Oh, the view here feels like I can almost touch the sky. Or see the land from a different angle. It's like mounting an icon, but the land beneath is not in constant motion. It's still and calm. Could stare at all the little details for hours. Is this what my people felt here?